Qingming is the time when Chinese in Hawaii gather at family grave sites to honor the traditional concepts of filial piety and ancestor worship.
The Chinese has always wanted to be buried with mountains around them facing the ocean.
The ocean is the Pacific. The city is Honolulu. This cemetery is deep in the Manoa Valley and also in the history of Hawaii's Chinese community. It is curiously alive with celebrations and school children.
In 1841, Lam Ching spotted this knoll and decided it was an ideal spot to bury our Chinese ancestors. He was a geometrician that's relating the stars, the mountains to the land. He felt that those that are buried here will bring prosperity to the generations to come.
As a child, I remember coming to these Qingming activities with my dad, and he's since passed away. And so now you might say I'm carrying on the torch for the next generation. My sisters and I all went to Episcopal schools. They went to the Priory and I went to Iolani. So we're staunch Christians. So even though we're staunch Christians, we also fully believe in the concepts of filial piety and ancestral worship.
I don't know whether you call it Tao or what kind of religion is that, but I believe it's only one way that's what we are doing. We do come to the cemetery and pray, bring out food and money. They will accept all the money, and sometimes we think, gee, they're richer than us. We bring a lot of money by bags and plastic bags full. And of course, some are the poor ones. They don't have anybody. They don't have anything. It's just like life, human beings. So that's my belief in that.
During the past 10 or 20 years ago, we had difficulty maintaining this cemetery. We have about 28 acres and only half has been used. But it's located in such a way, in a position that is very difficult to maintain because of the raining and terrain and so forth. And finally, we came across Benny Sacro, and he was almost God-sent. He was able to maintain this cemetery just the way it is now, where we are receiving nothing but compliments.
Sam started somewhere around 1970 when his father had asked him to carry on with his work in Manoa Cemetery. So after that, he decided he would carry on the job. He tried so hard to make money out of selling plots, but it wasn't enough. So one day he met the school teacher somewhere in Manoa looking for a place for a school, for a kindergarten. It was the Montessori school.
One day my car was stolen, and I found it out here in the children's playground, all stripped. And I walked up and I looked at this building and I said, wow, there's a building here. And I looked inside and it was completely empty. So I started looking for who owned the building, and I found a plaque over on the side of the building that has my birthday, June 7th. And I called up Mr. Sam Luke, who was the president of the Lin Yu Chung Association. They own the cemetery. And he said, sure. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked us if they could rent that building before. How come you'd like to have a school there? And I said, well, it'd be really quiet. And he said, great, I'll meet you over there this afternoon. And so I met him, and he asked me how much we could afford, and I said, well, we have about $400. And he said, fantastic, here's the keys. And within 2 weeks, we had opened up the school. The children's part of the cemetery is right directly across the street from our preschool class, which is in the cottage behind this building. And there's a big picture window there, and the kids can stand and look out at the graveyard. And we've talked about it, many times, how these are the graves of the little children, the babies that have died, when they were very young. And you would think that kids, would get scared or something about it, but they're absolutely fascinated. Many times they take walks up into the cemetery. They'll get on a rope and they'll walk up the hill and come back down, and they seem to have absolutely nothing about the cemetery except just that it's a part of life.
Over on this side. Ready? 1, 2, 3. On the line, on the line, on the side of the line.
We've been looking forward to this year for a long time because we've known that the cemetery was going to be 100 years old this year in June. I really feel like the school has been a part of that history now. We've been here 10 years. And slowly we have worked with the Lin Yicheng Association in fixing up the buildings, getting the grounds ready for this event. So we're looking for a long-term relationship where the school and the cemetery will be working together to make it one of really a landmark on the Hawaiian Islands, which I've always believed it should be.
The relationship of our centennial to the centennial of the arrival of the Chinese in 1889 was coincidental. And this year, of course, the arrival of Chinese is celebrating a 200th anniversary, and we are celebrating our centennial. We have a special program put together to commemorate our forefathers. That's the bicentennial of the arrival of the Chinese. After all, they are lying here, and they are deserving to have the living ones honor them.
Kind of remember the old people that talks about these things in the old age, and they said they don't want ladies to be working in the cemetery and to be involved in all this kind of praying and so forth. They only goes to pray when there's a time and place for everything, like Memorial Day or Qingming Day. They'll come up and celebrate together. But today, I think it's modern. You find this group of people that we hired, his wife come out to work together. So it doesn't matter because the time has changed.
In regards to carrying on the spiritual culture of spiritual piety, my 2 Japanese daughter-in-law will continue on just as my sons would. And rest assured they will teach my granddaughter, Alisa here, to come up and pay homage to us one day.
At Kaupulehu, right by the sea, we found a village sleeping quietly. A corner of heaven that God put there. No other place is quite as fair. When Jonah Jackson came to Kona village, Kaupulehu, there was nothing here. It was only lava, and he recreated the area again.
What John O. Jackson recreated was a paradise where peace and tranquility can flow, unhampered by the sounds of the city. A secluded spot of beauty where wildlife, and people mixed together in the spirit of ohana, the ancient family tradition of Hawaii. And stroll the paths where Hawaiian kings once walked. Nestled along the west coast of the Big Island, Kona Village is rich in history and legend. Entering Kona Village is like going back into a Hawaii that used to be.
Aloha, welcome to Kona Village.
The Queen's Bath. Only those of royal blood were allowed to bathe. The ali'i and their children communed here with nature. A place to live as the Hawaiians once lived. Learning their ancient craft of basket weaving.
If you want to finish your basket real fast, pick up 2 leaves and drop 1 in.
Drop, take the next 2.
And you're done with 1 half, so you have to get the other half.
Okay.
These petroglyphs tell a story of people who lived in total harmony with the environment and nature itself. Warriors, games, symbols of the ali'i, and carrying their dead, and ancient people recording their history by carving pictures on 15 acres of stone. The ancient ritual of the Hawaiian imu is recreated every week as part of luau festivities at the village. Tea leaves are placed around the pig, along with seaweed and spices. Hot rocks are placed inside the pig, then wrapped in chicken wire and lowered into an underground oven. Once in the oven, the pig is covered with banana leaves, tea leaves, burlap bags, and tarpaulin, and finally huge mounds of dirt. After more than 3.5 hours underground, the pig is ready to be dug up, uncovered, and brought forth for the luau. These young men are handling very hot rocks with their bare hands. As the pig comes out of the oven, it's placed on a platter ready to be served, cooked to perfection. It now finds its way to the luau. As the evening sunset casts a golden shadow upon the powerful waves, Kona village prepares for the night. While the sun disappears beyond the horizon, a young couple watch the evening transform this lovely village into a twilight zone. As the moon makes its appearance against a clear sky, swaying palm trees, and a gentle wind. It is here where the true Hawaiian spirit can be found and shared by all who walk its shores. No longer limited to a few channels and a place in the family room, television seems to be everywhere. Portable TVs, cable television, and VCRs allow us to watch whenever and wherever we want. Recent studies show children spending more time watching television than they do in the classroom. By the time a child reaches college, he will have seen 20 movies for every book read. Believing that media education is essential in today's society, the Communication Arts Learning Center at Kalaheo High School teaches students film and video production. Open to any public school student, the center offers high school credit courses and after-school programs for elementary and intermediate school students. The Communication Arts Center is one of 21 learning centers on Oahu, each specializing in a different educational theme.
Quiet on the set.
For the past 17 years, John Connolly has taught media production. He has been program coordinator of the Learning Center since it opened in 1987 and has helped the center become nationally recognized for the award-winning work produced by its students.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks, Dennis. As we have promised for the last couple of days, we're going to take a look at examples of professional slides, of nature shots, and people shots. Mr. Gucci has gotten out of some good books. It is important to teach media production at this level. We have found three primary values in this effort. The first is the study of mass media itself, and we find that studying production is a valuable step towards studying mass media and its effects on our society and on the kids right now. Tremendous power over their lives that they help understand. A second is that it is simply an alternate avenue for creation and communication. It gives them something that they haven't had before that allows them another way to express themselves. And we find that many students finally have a success where they might not have before in simply writing and usual student kinds of work. And finally, we find many spin-off educational values. Study of aesthetics, social values, organizational skills, interpersonal skills.
And also, we have a problem with the time. It says here that we need it in the morning or late afternoon because the sun is going to be setting, right?
We were talking about that, and Amy and Miley and some other people have like soccer, so they couldn't be there at night. So we're going to do it in the morning, early in the morning. We have to get there like at 7 o'clock.
Okay, so I got it.
A year-long, double-period class, the cinematography course is the heart of the Communication Arts Center. For many students, the class is an outlet for creative expression.
You never center it now. You do not have your horizon line dead center. Well, I don't think that the cognitive is the only thing. To make a well-rounded student, they need the creative end. So in terms of visual motion media, which they're getting in our program, You know, they do the static plus the movement kind of thing and the creating, and it's an incredible outlet for their imagination. What the students find the most exciting, I believe, or what they get the most in terms of the course is just doing a film. It's not the preparation necessarily, the storyboarding, the scripting, it's actually getting out there with their camera in the field and making a film. And when they see that first set of rushes coming back from processing, it's exciting, and you can feel that energy. It's incredible.
What's the matter, bad day?
It sucked.
What do you have?
Give me a beer now. Hey, bud, what are you looking at, huh, punk?
Yo, homeboy, you got a problem with the MC or what?
If you don't shut up right now, I'm gonna take that hat and shove it down your stinking throat.
I'll breakdance all over your face.
The most important thing, I think, is patience, because it takes a very long time to do this. I mean, this film that I worked on now, it's taken me about a week and a half filming, but that's, I mean, I stayed up till past 3 o'clock in the morning filming, you know, on a school night, so it's a lot of work. This film is 18 frames per second, and that means 18 single shots makes 1 second. For every movement I make 2 shots of that movement, and then I move it again, I take 2 shots, and I have a storyboard that I drew out, and I have to go by that so I don't get lost. All of a sudden I'm thinking, oh, did I do that shot yet or not?
That got rid of him. Zach, my man, you did it.
I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna take a few courses in different arts and, you know, experiment in what I want to do before I major in something, you know. But I really want to look into filming because I like doing this. It's a lot of fun for me.
As a result, we see the ultimate rise of Napoleon.
For these 9th graders enrolled in the Freshman Gifted and Talented program, a history lesson may become a video documentary. The program combines world history, language arts, and video communications.
The reason Napoleon became a video was that we had to do first semester projects, and they were research papers on an important person from the past. Everyone in the class wrote a research paper, and then from that research paper, we wrote a script. Mr. Connolly and Mrs. Conda both sat together and they picked out the 5 that they thought were the best. So from this 5, the class read, you know, all these 5 scripts, and we chose the one we thought was best, and Napoleon turned out to be the best one. So that was what we were going to do our video on.
On your feet. We'll settle this like men.
Gaspar, I'm warning you. You have no right to threaten him, and you shouldn't. Sit down and shut your mouth, or I'll do it for you.
Who's threatening who, Charles? I can handle you, no problem. Let's go.
Charles, sit down. I appreciate your loyalty, but I'd feel better about myself if I fought him myself.
Nowadays, of course, in the world of mass, almost instantaneous communication, I think it's important for them to have an opportunity to extend their education into video communications and into the world of mass communications. Now, one of the essential competencies for high school is, you know, oral communication, and secondly, another one is to distinguish fact from fiction. And I think that it is important for them to understand that media can be manipulated, you know, and the fact that they have to learn to be able to discern fact from fiction when they see things on television or in the movies.
You don't watch television the same after you've done something like this because you know what goes on behind it, and you think, you know, there's something that takes an hour on TV, and you know how much time and effort went into editing it, putting it together, and all that.
By teaching students how to create their own TV programs, the Keiki Media Workshop helps students to become informed media consumers.
The Keiki Media Program Workshop is a program to involve all the kids from the elementary schools come here after school. The project that I've been involved in is we're making a documentary a la Sesame Street style, where they're learning how to use video equipment to produce their own video, right from the first concept to the final completed video.
Go! Go!
To complete their documentary on ice cream, the workshop students went on location to Foremost Dairies. Responsible for all aspects of the production, the students do everything from adjusting the lights and monitoring the audio to writing the script.
I mean, he already answered it? Yeah, but he should answer it on TV, though.
Quiet on the set. Stand by. Roll tape.
Tape's rolling.
What flavor sells the most?
Vanilla. Vanilla ice cream, I guess, because you can do various things at home with it.
How long has this factory been up?
It's been here since 1954, and currently now we're going through vast improvements. Approximately 4,000 gallons of raw mix, which would give you at least 8,000 gallons of finished mix.
My hope is that learning centers stay afloat. The Department of Education, the Board of Education, the legislature, all have been very supportive. But as all things that have to be funded, learning centers need to continue to prove their worth, their cost effectiveness, and so forth. As I talk to learning center coordinators around the state, I find that these things are happening. Exciting things are happening at learning centers. And if they can keep going, you know, we can continue to offer these kinds of programs for our students. We have, for our center, we've got a lot of dreams. We would like to see a communication arts building that would house a flagship program, a communication arts program that offered these kinds of opportunities to students throughout our state. And I would like to see us work towards the day when Hawaii has a visual and performing arts center that rivals those that are in New York and in Houston and other places. And I would like to be a part of that.